to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to a meeting of the Stamford Selectboard. We have a matter to discuss that is not included on the agenda. You may do so by addressing the chairperson and stating your name and address. You will notice that all our meetings are recorded, and this is to aid with the summarization of the minutes. Visitors are welcome, and we allow 5 minutes of comments per visitor and 15 minutes per topic. Discussions will be held in a calm, civilized manner and respectful of others. Select board members present are
Mike Dahl.
Nancy Bashika.
Doug Wright.
John Dunn. Bert Lamar.
Will there be any adding of items that can't wait until the next meeting, or removal of items from tonight's agenda?
I have a grant agreement for the Clean Water Act. I guess additional agenda, additional correspondence.
Okay. Will there be any adjustments? Oh, I have one item too, regarding the tennis court and the garden down there. Will there be any adjustments to the agenda, such as changing the order of items? And please note that Jeff is recording video recording the select board meeting. And it will be on YouTube. So, hearing all visitors. Hearing visitor. Do you want to address the select board?
Yes, if I could, please. If I could have a minute or two of your time, it would be great.
What is your name?
I'm Michael Murphy, so I'm a former resident here of Stamford.
Yeah.
My kids were born here. My son now owns a home on Sportsman's Road,
Right.
so I just wanted to express, I'm here representing him, and just wanted to express his concerns about a project that's going forward, not in opposition, just voicing his desire to be included in any negotiations that go forward with regard to that project. So the
What
diversion-
project?
Oh, the stream diversion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so something, the stream is actually on his property,
Yeah, I know.
affects his water, affects his land, so he just wants to be informed of whatever's going
Well,
on.
you can look in the minutes and read the minutes and
Right.
agenda and come to the meeting and
Certainly
express
he
yourself.
will.
We
Yes,
have
and I
not
will.
made any decision. Dave
Right.
is not here tonight, so
Great.
Yeah.
So as long as
it
we're
looks-
informed, just want to let you know of our concerns and awareness.
it looks like there's going to be a lot involved in it, so it's not going to probably happen
It's gonna
right
be
away.
Yeah, I know that things,
So,
the weather is changing and things are problematic, and so it is an issue, and, yeah, just something that's going on in a lot of places, so. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Reading and approval of records and orders.
Okay, the Susan Lewin.
Is there a motion
Motion.
to
Yes,
accept
it
the
is.
minutes as written?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Dave is not here for road conditions. But is this where you want to do the grant agreement?
Municipal grants and aid, he met with Jim Henderson, and they decided an area on Jefferson Road to replace 2 undersized culverts and some stone line ditches. They're thinking it would be $7,000 grant, but the town matched at $1,750. Or, and that was a good place to concentrate.
Motion to sign.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? under road conditions, Dave is not here, but he got, last meeting, he was going to call around to see who could give us quotes on removing the debris from the last storm, all the trees that are down on the town road. So he talked, I guess Greater Heights was down here, and then John Dunn also put in a bid to remove some of the debris. So do we, here's the bids. And I've got more information on Greater Heights, but, John, do you, I can't ask you to recuse yourself.
I would
but-
excuse myself in voting,
But you don't.
but I personally, like, I've done business with Greater Heights, I think they're a great crew, and, they're great guys, if they can take care of it, I would have no problem with them doing the work.
But you don't have to recuse yourself, I'm just. Now, Dave called me this morning, and I guess Greater Heights got back to him and said, if you want us to remove the brush, instead of chipping it on site there, they would remove the brush and just bring it up to our brush dump, and it would be cheaper than that bid. So because John put in a bid, Dave did not want to make a decision on his own, that's why he said we should
That's
do it.
fair.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm comfortable with this.
if this wasn't John, I'd be asking a big question of, I guess it's a hard thing to compare quotes. One guy drives around and says, oh, this is what I think I gotta do. The other guy, this doesn't seem like there's apples and apples there. So, I wouldn't have a problem with you guys. It doesn't seem like you have a problem with just letting them do it.
No, they have the equipment, the crew, they'd
Yeah.
probably be done in a day, you know?
Yeah.
From what I've discussed with Dave on this 37 whatever, that was them kind of going around with a picker truck and just grabbing everything, so they make real short work of it.
Right, they're not,
They're not gonna be chipping the brush, they're just gonna grab it, throw it in the truck and bring it back to the shop, and probably throw it in a pile somewhere and be done with it. I would be really curious, and I would bring this to the board while we're looking at tree work, and we were discussing about tree work the other day at the top of the lane with certain trees. Is it worth, while we're having these guys do the work in town, is it worth having them look at any other trees and adding it to the ticket and taking care of it while they're here in town doing the work?
Good question.
Yes.
One of
It would
the
make
things
sense.
is, did we ever get any response back from the letter that you sent?
Yes.
We did. And what was that response?
Dave spoke to the lady going up the lane on the left-hand side, and everything was okay with removing those trees. And, yes, and the fellow on the top of the lane had no problem, but Dave still got to get in touch with him because he had another question for Dave. He didn't give me the question, he wanted to talk to Dave,
That,
but it sounded like. he
those
was
particular
okay.
trees right there are a safety problem.
Yep.
I mean, if you go up there, you can see it. If John, John's not here, if they're already in town, why don't we see if Dave can add that to it and see what the price is? And I have no problem with moving forward on what they've already quoted, but if they wanna add to it and that quote's, reasonable, I think we should just give Dave permission to go ahead. Because an extra grand to take those trees down is nothing, I'm not saying that's what it's gonna be, but those are big trees, there's a lot there.
You're still saving their
You guys agree?
transportation.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's a good idea.
But the quote's always gonna be less when they don't have to come back.
Exactly, every year. I don't know where they're coming from.
So, I mean, I don't know how you wanna approach it, if you wanna. John and I actually had a talk prior to the meeting on the way up to the site thing. And to kick things around, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it's not always in the best interest of the town. Bill just mentioned something before the town, we'll bring that up too, but we've been kicking a lot of things around. You know, if we know this is gonna be cheaper, let's give Dave the permission to say, okay, look at, I'm gonna fall within an extra X amount of dollars to do those trees on top of the lane, you know? If it's, you know, just outrageous, Dave, you know, he's good at it, let him use his common sense. Now, if there's other trees in town, I don't know where, you know, how much we can do, you know? But if those two, we already talked about, that is definitely a safety.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's,
Is that a motion?
go ahead, Kurt.
I was hoping that was one.
No, I can make the motion to, but we didn't, if they wanna go and just drop the brush off, I would say, let's motion to allow Dave to negotiate this. You know, if this is gonna go down by dropping, you know, use your best interest. So if it's gonna go up to our brush pile, by all means, go ahead.
Right.
And if they can do these other two trees within a reasonable cost, and Dave knows that, it's not gonna be,
That Dave's
it
discretion.
shouldn't double this number,
No,
you know?
no.
So let's say, okay, Dave, you know it's a reasonable cost. The quote's fairly low, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think it's.
Let him go, give Dave the permission to not to exceed the number if you want to
That's
go that
the
way,
motion.
or whatever you want.
Write that up,
Yeah.
Nice
I'll
work.
second.
Yeah, I wouldn't even give a number. Dave knows.
Okay.
Yeah. Give
Well,
Dave permission
well,
to
there,
spend the
right.
money for this tree cutting.
Both the one for the storm damage and the
Capital.
top of the lane.
Now Deb had her hand up. Do you think there's other trees in town? I would assume.
Okay, fine. Oh, yeah.
So we can,
I've been talking about this for years.
Yeah, there's one on
yeah,
Jefferson that's.
but these are trees that aren't falling down yet, but they will be someday.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
just
no,
East
it's-
Road, just
it's-
East Road alone.
It's a minefield, just waiting to be
Yeah,
set up.
yeah.
That's where Dave was talking, where's the town had the tree, you know,
Right, I mean, you
where's
go,
the town, what's
Yeah,
our
you go up-
program for tree removal in
East,
Stamford?
East Road's got a ton of them.
Cause we can get carried away, or,
That's
you
right.
know,
How
we
much
don't wanna
do we-
get too carried
how
away,
much
but
do
we
we
wanna
do?
make sure that things.
Jefferson
get
Road's
better.
got some real old trees on that road.
They're old, they're dead.
They're rough shape.
And it didn't
Well, I
get-
like the
And
original
it didn't
roads.
get
with the
blown
old-
down in the storm. That's,
You know,
Right,
trees.
yeah, them big old maples that are just
Yeah.
sharp have come down.
We lost large trees.
Mhm.
The last storm on Jefferson.
anything else on your roads, Lori? No? Okay. Recycling? Nothing?
I noticed the steel bin is chock full in one by, how, that must be in the docket to get swapped out.
Yeah, I don't know who gets how much, there's not much,
Dave usually handles.
it's not worth it. It's not worth the labor you put into it to get the money in, it's new steel, but by all means, anybody wants it. One thing I forgot to do, and someone mentioned air conditioners, I did not get a hold of that guy about the air conditioner. I apologize, try to get that again, and see if they take them. I don't know if you want to just take that right off, if we do not collect air conditioners, or just wait.
We'll wait, yeah. Emergency management, nobody's here.
No, but, we did mention the hazardous mitigation plan.
Plan that hasn't been signed.
So, you did say that a person's gonna come next week, or next meeting.
Next meeting.
Mayor's gonna come to the next meeting, I have the resolution and I have the agreement, she's faxed them to me, but she would like to come and present them and answer
Okay,
any
so-
questions you have.
I don't want it to go any farther than that, guys, because we're missing out on grant money. So, we've already missed out on 5%, correct?
On the first one, that's $20,000.
So that's $1,000, so, and you're saying there's other grants, correct? I'm sorry.
What grant was that we missed out on the?
Oh, the FEMA reimbursement is
Right,
almost
the FEMA.
75%.
Yeah.
What it could be.
So we lost that, and there are several other grants that are still pending, I thought.
The other ones that Dave has are affected by it.
Our FEMA grants.
But it could, stuff could come up
But-
at any time.
Did I read somewhere that if we're in the process of updating our plan, that maybe they would be retroactive?
I tried.
Looks like FEMA didn't think so.
Right. But at the end of the day, we're gonna approve whatever they approve.
I mean, if
We're
it's-
not gonna change.
If Dara sent you a resolution, why can't you accept the resolution? Let her come and explain it
She's gonna
in
come
2
next
weeks.
week. but
Yeah, coming in 2
I
weeks.
guess we didn't figure 2 weeks would matter unless we.
And she wanted to be here. I don't know if this is part of her
Well, I
process.
don't know, if 2 weeks doesn't matter because there's no grants available right now, that's fine. But I don't want it to go further than that. So, let's keep this on the back burner and say, look, don't kick this down the road, kick it down the road because we're gonna lose it
I mean,
all.
who's kicking it down the road? We are or she is?
Well, I don't know. It sounds like we have to
The
wait.
whole thing.
It always seems like we're waiting for others.
The state kicked some things back, Dara answered them.
Well, the state went back and forth with her like 5 times, so she really did stay on top of it, trying to get.
The biggest delay was
We should-
COVID and losing people that were working on it and,
We're not doing the pushing, we shouldn't be penalized for it.
no.
It's not you guys' fault, really. It's not like you've been sitting on this for a long period of time. And FEMA only does 75%. But the ERAC through the state of Vermont does extra if we have the hazard mitigation and if we have all these other things in a row, because we don't, Vermont isn't kicking in that extra 10% or whatever it could be.
Okay.
You had a question too,
No,
Laura?
that's what I
That was it? Okay.
But just let's not let it go too far.
Once we sign
If
it
it's
off,
in our hands, we'll sign it.
Every year.
It'll go through automatically once she lets you sign the resolution.
5 years, 8 years, it's good for?
Yeah,
Plan?
duration of the plan.
I think 5 anyway.
5 or 8, I don't know.
Yeah, it's supposed to be renewed every 5 years.
The other thing under emergency management, I did see on media there, social media, Bob mentioned something about signing up for the Vermont
Alert system.
alert system. Just keep putting that in the minutes. It's a good system. People should do that. It's just that one other tool that we can have.
Okay, moving on to discussion, offer to purchase lot 188 in Alpenwald.
So I received an email from Aaron Tyler, who would like to make an offer of $500 for lot 188.
We, want them at tax sale for a couple thousand. Do we want to ask him for more, or do we want to accept his $500?
Is it just a landlocked property with just trying to add on?
It's just an Alpenwald property that we acquired at tax sale, and you guys usually just, it's not making any money sitting in our hands, so you.
Is he a butter? I don't think he owns any right now.
One of the things that was brought up a couple of years ago is especially with COVID, people were buying land up at Stamford, buying land up at Alpenwald, and they were flipping it. They were buying it, and then they were saying, okay, I bought it for $500, I put it up for sale for $10,000. And I get $5,000, you say, it's your change, I'm happy. If that's happening, good, go ahead. And if you guys, anybody else wants to do it, go ahead. No, but in my opinion is, and I agree, we sit on things, we go back and forth for, where are we gonna go? Another $500?
So you
And
don't
in the
get the
meantime, we
money.
don't get exactly.
It has
So
to
the
go back.
town doesn't get the money, and we're not getting any taxes. The minute we put it back on the tax roll, we start getting taxes. To me, like you said, we don't get the money, so why play the game? So, I'll make a motion, we accept the $500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence, Lori, or anything else in your discussion?
You're gonna do the ARPA stuff later?
Sure. You want to do it now for correspondence?
Yeah. Not ARPA, the DB fiber.
Yeah.
And I didn't, with me being out this week and whatnot, I don't know if I made copies for you guys. I know I emailed it to you, so if you want paper copies, I can roll this number.
No, that would be,
I talked to Lori yesterday about the documents, and I called DB Fiber to say, are these all we need? What else do we need? It seems like they're throwing stuff at us the last minute. They gave it to us all at once, we haven't done it. So, we didn't get back to form, and we removed some stuff because it didn't pertain to Stamford. So what's the first one here? Use of ARPA funds. We're gonna allow the customers to self-certify that they are in need of financial support to complete the fiber installation on a first-come, first-served basis. That's what we discussed at another meeting, and we put it on our form that people can apply for financial assistance. And then the balance of the cost is the owner's responsibility.
So, I don't know, maybe,
Yeah.
well, you mentioned the word ARPA funds, but is that where this money's coming from? Or I thought we already put that money in.
We put the money in, and now we have to authorize DV Fiber to release it to all the residents on these.
And that's where it originally came from, was the
Yeah.
ARPA fund? Okay.
Yep. And we're gonna allocate an amount to each customer up to $500. Now, Lori, I was reading over that form. If you're reading it, the first paragraph, it says financial assistance for conduit. We said they could do a one-time connection, whether it's conduit, whatever it is, just a one-time
Take the
connection.
conduit board out.
So I think to go along with our form that, for the funding application, we said,
Which form are you starting with?
we're starting with the use of ARPA funds, this one.
Just in support of what Nancy's saying, it's possible that they might need money to support a second phone pole being installed.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it.
And
It's
there's
the
also the
installation.
possibility they could hit the additional $175 of wiring inside their house.
Right.
If it falls in the $500, there's no reason not to allow it.
It's very, I mean, I looked at these numbers, it's very difficult for anybody to actually, I mean, if you get into these numbers, you should, you know, count them out. You know, that these are low numbers.
So on our application for financial assistance, it says I'm requesting funding for the following project: installation of DV fiber and or conduit at home address. So if we keep it the same as that, and there's 3 spots where it says conduit, and because we don't want to limit it just to that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And on the use of ARPA funds, we're going to give it to people of financial support and allocate an amount to each customer up to $500. Should we be more specific and say the ones that have been approved for financial support? Because otherwise, it seems to me it says allocate an amount to each customer up to $500, so it could be any of us.
Oh, it says it's, the form actually has to be filled out.
To each approved customer?
Yeah,
Yeah, each approved.
yeah, 'cause you,
Yep.
there is a form with it, so. Yeah, that's fine, you can change that.
And then the other thing, assist customers in the process of hiring a contractor. It is the customer's obligation to hire, but DV Fiber will directly pay any town-approved contractor's invoices. How are we going to assist the customer? Can we just say, here's the list that DV Fiber supplied for us, but you can get your own contractor if you want?
Yeah.
You can suggest a list.
These are suggestions,
Yeah.
yes.
There are other local contractors, other
Right,
people who can do this locally. A number of people, the last time I looked at the list, were not close by.
right. And they probably did some more in their area of Vermont, and we're closer to. On the second form, instructions to DV Fiber regarding use of town ARPA funds. It's the same thing, we're gonna say yes, allow customers to self-certify and complete the financial paperwork to complete fiber installation on first-come, first-served basis. And allocate up to 500, it's kind of like duplicate here, that's why I don't know why we have all these forms. And
One
then,
is, yeah, that is good.
yeah, and then use of remaining funds, this is what you've always asked. Any funds remaining after the any funds remaining after the chosen option for distribution above is completed shall be distributed as follows. Should we expand the use of funds to the approved applicants to reimburse the applicant for installation costs? Meaning, if there's only one person that applies, it's $500, but it costs $2,000, do we give them the money?
Are you gonna make a cutoff date?
We said that we're going to.
If we don't, how long is the fiber company gonna keep this money in their, and wait for people 5 years from now?
They don't want to.
Right, that's just, they don't wanna keep track of this, we're talking $7,500,
That's
you
minimal.
know? They don't want it.
What other options do you have, Nancy?
Return the remaining to Stamford.
For the purchase of a side-by-side, so it's London.
Or just let DB
I
Fiber
tried.
keep it in their pocket. Or let DB Fiber have it.
We take it or they keep it?
Yeah, there's any other,
Those are the choices.
Well, I think that's, I'm gonna, for the town, I'm gonna say, don't let them keep it.
Yeah, it's like.
I think if we had a cutoff date of a year from now, or whatever you wanna do, I mean, people either are gonna hook up, or they're not gonna hook up, and if you need more, and if they need more, which if it's 2,000, give them the money, but if it still comes out where there's still money left over, then just give it back to the town, write us a check, and that's it.
Yeah,
I
I'd
got a
say.
problem. The other problem you may be is they're giving you back ARPA money.
We'll put it back in the ARPA fund.
Yeah.
How long do you have to use the ARPA money?
And we'll spend it on
we
Friday.
got time to use the ARPA fund, but we have to designate it by the end of this year.
Okay,
So unless you're gonna set a date
so we would have to have a date come up before the end
by
of this year.
December 25th of
Yeah.
this year
Mhm.
for people to have applied,
Yeah,
then you've gotta grab it back
right.
and allocate it.
So we'll have to know where that
Yeah,
is.
allocated, I mean, towards town garage, I think.
Right, but it has to be done
Right,
by
for the
grade.
town garage.
I'd say
something
by
like that.
December 1st.
Yeah, I would say give us a little leeway.
December 1st, give us a month to play games.
Yeah, you gotta have a run out period in order to get that.
Yeah. So I say, do this, what's it? It's August, today's August.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
Still got 5 months.
yeah.
Has
So,
anyone,
let's say December 1st, you gotta apply, and then whatever money's not spent, it goes back into the harbor, and we'll spend it, we'll find it.
okay, so they're applying by December 1st,
Mhm. And then.
but they're
then
not
we'll-
gonna get the bills, they're not gonna get hooked up and get bills before the ARPA money comes back to us. There's no way,
Oh, I got a question.
Yeah.
So we have ARPA money in the fund right now.
yes,
We have to spend it all by the first of the year?
no, we have to
Okay.
designate it.
Okay, so if we ask for the money back, put it in our ARPA fund,
Mhm.
right? And we spend it before the first of the year. And then we set aside $7,500 for this project and don't have DV5 or do any of it.
Mhm.
Can we do that?
If you just allocate all of your ARPA money to something, then if you get it back and it is part of ARPA money, it's allocated with the rest of it.
So we have to allocate something by the first of the year. If there's money, we can use that money towards whatever we allocate it towards. If not, then we'll use the other one.
If you've done it for renovation of the garage,
Yep.
you're clean.
And by the
Because
first of the year,
you don't have enough money to do everything that you might like to do with the garage.
right, exactly.
You're safe.
Okay. So then, we can still say by the first of the year then, because it doesn't matter now, the number, we know that we're gonna get, at the most, we're gonna get 7,500 back.
Right,
So we've already allocated that to spend that, right now, we already did it on the garage.
oh,
So if we get it back, we spend it, if not, we don't.
okay,
All it has to be is on paper, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be cash.
and it doesn't have to be spent for 2 years
There you go,
after.
so there you go.
Yeah, as long as you have it allocated, right?
Allocate by
so
the
if
end
that
and
money
spend
comes
by
back-
2 years.
Because we didn't spend it on this, I mean, what do we do? Give it back to the state?
No.
Of course not.
That really messed up.
And then they're gonna give us some more?
Okay, so we're gonna ask them to return remaining to Stamford. So.
But we
we're-
still have to have deadlines.
Yes, and that's what I'm asking, where are we putting this deadline? Should we put it on the form? Apply by,
December 1st is still.
December 1st, and then we'll go from there.
gotta revise the form again,
And
Lori.
then tell,
We've talked to people, we've put it out in the select board minutes, on and on, about we would have been in a tougher place if anybody had showed up and responded to that, because we didn't have any forms to do it with.
right. Now, wasn't there like 5 people that were maybes?
There were 5 people that were maybes, one person, I'm not sure whether that's within the 5 or not. I got the name. It turned out they had already gone out to the people's house. The extension for conduit is 1,200 feet. I talked to them personally. They would not have met the self-certification, so that's gone by. I've gone back to Gabby, the director for DV Fiber, and she still hasn't given me specific locations or specific names. But it looks like Keith, who's been the one in touch with the engineering staff that are actually doing the installations, went out on his own and contacted these people and reviewed. If they get around to giving us the other 5 names, Bob or I will go out and see if we can help these people, or let me sure that they're aware that there's help.
Okay.
Yeah, there's,
The other deadline I'm sorry.
go ahead. The forms are very easy to fill out,
Yeah.
they're not,
Oh, yeah.
But, like you said, the communication saying, hey, you know there's a form here.
but then,
The other thing is we need to give the fiber company a deadline that the bills need to be submitted. So if we give the person a deadline to do the forms, but then they don't do the work, you know, because it's winter time,
right,
they might not do the work. till
That's okay, we've
spring.
already
Months.
committed
We have 2
that
years.
portion of that ARPA fund.
Okay, okay.
If it sticks at 500 and they
Okay.
later on go over it, that's on them.
Okay.
so no one has applied yet or even talked to you about this, Lori, right?
Yeah. So the box that says maybe we would pay additional funds above the first 500, we're not gonna do, we're just gonna have everything come back to Stamford for the garage.
If they get back to us by December 1st, we can
Yeah, I thought we said we would. Yeah.
make that decision on December 2nd.
Yeah. And, you wanna wait till next meeting to approve it, you wanna approve it with all changes?
Approve it with all changes.
Motion.
This out.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
In and out, okay.
I have another DD fiber meeting next Wednesday, and so I'll push again to try and find the mysterious people.
Are you, maybe we can work tomorrow? No, I'll talk to you later. Okay, next week. Any other old business?
Oh, we just did a county road site visit. And we were going to change it from a class 4 to a trail. It looks like after the public meeting that we did afterwards, we decided we would leave it alone at this time. And I just want that to be in minutes.
Got
So
more?
we're gonna leave it to a class 4 road at this time, unless other information comes up and change that, but at this time, we're gonna leave it.
Okay. Did we do a motion in the public hearing? We did. Or we didn't? No, we did not.
I'll make that motion now that we leave it class 4 at this time.
All in favor?
Aye.
I thought.
I know the motion's there.
Weren't you gonna talk to Dave first?
Well, like I said, at this time, so
At
if
this
new
time,
information
okay.
comes up, we can
Yeah,
bring it back
okay.
up. Just so it's behind us if Dave did such, yeah, that's fine, you don't bring it back.
Lori, how are dogs coming in? Last time we had 10 dogs left.
Yeah, I think we might have had one or two more. It hasn't been that much since the last meeting.
I will email Luke with the status on this and
That happens. No problem.
new business, Lori. Or anybody.
Well, I would just like to remind you guys that August 13th is the state primary election. You guys and the Justice of the Peace are counters after the election. So if you could plan to be here at 7. And,
On a Tuesday night,
on a Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, when the election
Monday.
closes, to count the ballots.
Probably won't be long. The ballots are sparse. Okay, under new business, this is regarding the tennis court. Fran Busa, who is a preschool teacher, was sad to see that we're taking the tennis court and the garden apart because she was running a program for pre-K through 4 in gardening. And she would like to know if she could bring the boxes and the soil up towards the school and use it here. I said, I'll run it by the select board, but I didn't see any problem with that. And she would like to put maybe some down by the basketball court. And I don't think there's any problem with us.
no problem.
And was there 2 picnic tables down there or 1?
I don't remember. Yeah, there's at least one.
And maybe we could leave 1 down there with the building, because the building's in pretty good shape. And leave 1 picnic table there and bring 1 up here. She said they would be happy to use it. She just needs help, and if Dave could help her. I don't see why he couldn't help bring that up. Question Dave.
Exactly.
I'll run it by him. No
I think
objection
it's a
with them
good,
using
no, I
all
think
that
it's a
stuff.
good idea.
No.
If they're working with gardens and stuff, I think we should allow them to do that.
Oh, yeah. Better than some of the things that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
No, definitely.
I did notice, this is just off the subject, but I did notice that the school had a dumpster here.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you
noticed
brought
that too.
Seemed like a lot of stuff went in that dumpster. And I know that's their meeting, so maybe I'll go to that meeting and bring it up, but I was wondering, you know, all that furniture and books and kind of seems like that's taxpayer money, so I was wondering why they didn't notify anyone if anybody wanted to take a book home.
Could they put it out on the lawn for
But
free?
I'll bring that up at the school meeting, I would like to know who's in charge of that, I guess. It just seems like a big dumpster full of stuff.
Yeah, it's a shame to throw it away. I'm
It
sure
just seems
there's
like,
like a
that's my opinion.
third world country somewhere that could have used it.
Yeah.
And donated or someone.
So it's just an
We
opinion.
tried, I had all my kids' books, I couldn't donate them here, Reedsboro, any Pittsfield, no place is taking books. It's really tough. So if you've got a third world country to ship them to.
Well, I know that parochial schools are always looking for.
They're not.
Well, I've done projects like in
Same
Canada, for
schools.
instance, I think they
Oh,
utilized all
okay.
the old desks and stuff. They went somewhere, they loaded them up and.
And the same thing with desks, you know, they're always looking for furniture.
Somebody could have probably used a desk for home, a kid's
But
desk.
I'm just saying, it would have been nice to have a little bit of a notice. It's an opinion, I'm not putting it down, I like to look into it more.
Is it already a done thing?
Yeah, it's already gone.
Just wondering, when the school gets, you know, who does that, who makes that decision?
Was it at a school board?
Is it a school board or is it the, you know, the union?
Faculty.
I don't know.
We
See
don't-
if there were outdated textbooks or something like that, but.
It seems like
They're
the
looking for all
furniture-
desks and chairs and,
Yeah.
but I'm assuming they're gonna have to
Oh,
buy
sure.
all new stuff.
It's
It's
like
like
just
just
lots of
like school
books.
desks.
And then there's this whole budget,
Donate
this big
yeah,
budget thing where you're throwing out
homeschool.
desks and buying
Yeah.
all new
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm not saying this is done, you're right, but in the future, if it is comes up, maybe we can have a little bit more notice. And there are homeschoolers in this town right now, so they're going to
Yep.
offer it.
Yep.
It's just a suggestion, I'll bring it up at that meeting.
But
These long pages like that.
Big,
Yeah.
like this?
These are nice. I wouldn't mind having a couple of these.
Yeah, folding tables, food, doesn't eat.
Yeah.
A couple of
Those are
those.
nice tables.
Your bar.
I wonder how much it's gonna cost to replace them.
I know.
Well, I don't know, that's what I'm.
Yeah, it's,
I'll bet you they're gonna replace them.
Yeah,
sure they got it all
Decision
figured
of
out.
that, was that a school
Crazy.
board meeting? You go
I
to
don't know,
school
was
board
there, but
meetings?
I haven't gone in a little while.
Again, I'll bring it up there. It's my understanding that the school board is in charge of the financial part of it, so. Of the building.
principal and staff who didn't want it in their schoolroom anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, I'll
Too
ask.
bad. Okay. Any other new business? I had executive session on here, but I don't know why we had it on there. I didn't catch it when we had it. To say
The school board always has it on there,
So, I have no reason to go.
just in case you get out of line during the meeting, we can have an executive session.
So if there's any, no other business, do we have? a
Motion to adjourn. Miller.
Wow.
Miller's.
Andy went on a field trip.
If anybody's interested, I have tickets for a polenta,
Oh,
supper, and a gun raffle.
After the meeting,